Everyone says immersion is the key to understanding natural Portuguese while keeping you entertained, but let's be honest, it's not that simple. The usual advice just doesn't work for real-world conversations. So I'm going to show you how using a specific vlog-style video on YouTube can boost your listening comprehension, and I'll give you the practical tips you need to make the most of that immersion time. So what special content is this exactly? I swear it's neither soap operas nor Netflix. The other day, while adding a couple more resources to the Tuga book, the native content library we have at the Language Unschool, I noticed that in the vlog section, there were a few resources specifically for travel vlogs. And then I thought, aren't these the perfect content type for immersion? You bet they are. Let's look at the YouTube channel Daqui Pra Ali by a couple, Sara and Nuno, who travel the world on a van. So I can exemplify all the benefits this content type has for your Portuguese. The first thing to mention is a bit random, but honestly, it will make a difference. Did you notice the channel name? It means from here to there, but that's not it. Can you guess how it's pronounced? Oh, I did just say it. Well, there are options, of course. Daqui para ali, but you might hear it being pronounced daqui para ali, or even daqui para ali. Since we're at it, let's listen to a few different ways Sara says para in one sentence. She first says para nós and then os gatinhos. The word para is used 78 times in this video alone. If you listen to even just 10 attentively, you would already be a lot better prepared to hear para in the wild. I'm always surprised when my unschoolers say they had no idea para could be pronounced in different ways than what they've been hearing in previous course materials. No wonder people struggle understanding us. This is the real language. And this is precisely how this unschooler managed to get that the sound plu meant pelo when listening to the radio in the morning. Okay, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I will say it anyway. Generally speaking, people don't like grammar, but until you realize how everything is connected, you're missing out on a lot and just feeling frustrated. Think about it. Grammar is not a thing you learn just to pass a test. Grammar is the tidy person in the house, making sure there's some ground rules in the house. Otherwise, we wouldn't understand each other. But what does this have to do with this video? Well, prepositions are probably the hardest thing to learn in a foreign language, but if you actually take 5 minutes to check some of the instances where para shows up here, your listening comprehension improves and your grammar too. You can ask yourself, is this one indicating purpose, direction? I talk about the different usages in this video. One crucial element this channel has is 2 voices only, one male and one female. When you step away from the Cinderella voice in your course, that voice which enunciates everything in crystal clear Portuguese, you will be shocked at how real people speak. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a podcast with a different guest every time, focusing on one voice at a time removes some of that overwhelming effect. And why? Because you will soon get used to the person's pronunciation, accent, expressions, filler words, tone of voice even. I always try to recommend channels to my unschoolers that have a male or female voice according to their gender, because as social linguistics say, even gender plays a role in language. Certainly in one like Portuguese, in which every noun is either male or female. And this brings me to another advantage of focusing on one voice only for a while. The repetition, when you are alert to it, can really help you sound more native. For example, in this video alone, Nuno says que tal 4 times. Que tal, Sandrinha? Que tal a primeira noite? Que tal, Matias? Que tal essa noite no posto de vigia? I'm not suggesting only men use que tal, but it's clearly something he says a lot. Now, tal is not an easy word to translate, which means this is idiomatic. In essence, it's a very cool way of asking, how was it? How did you find it? So next time you go to the market and, I don't know, try a grape and someone next to you asks, e que tal as uvas? You will be able to understand and reply back. The fifth benefit of these travel vlogs is the combination of visual and auditory input you're getting. A lot of the time, the couple will be talking about mundane things like the challenges of living in a camper with 2 cats in the heat. You'll be able to recognize a lot of basic words related to the weather, but said in a more idiomatic or colloquial way. For example, at some point you see them putting a bottle of cold water next to one of the cats and then putting both cats outside in the shade and saying, aqui está bocadinho mais fresquinho. Perhaps you know the word fresco, fresh, yet you've never used it in the diminutive, fresquinho. I explained some meanings of the diminutive in this video. In short, the combination of visuals and sound means you have a higher chance of remembering such expressions. But how do travel vlogs keep you from brain fatigue? Well, they are actually the perfect balance between listening to people talking and watching amazing scenery, which is the perfect break from trying to understand the whole time. But honestly, the most hidden benefit is probably that you're getting exposed to the way Portuguese people see the world. They might be visiting the city you're from or a place you've also visited before, and yet their comments can sound unexpected or refreshing to you. Whichever case, they will reveal their own worldviews. If you're curious about how much Portuguese you can learn out of a Portuguese series, also here on YouTube, check out this video. It's a very different style from the travel vlog, but still very rich language-wise. Remember to include your interests in the equation, so check out my free mini tuga to fish out for more immersion ideas.